The human stepped cautiously through the vast chamber, the metallic walls gleaming under the soft amber light. He had been brought here by an alien envoy without explanation, his hands bound behind his back by a material that seemed stronger than steel yet somehow flexible enough to allow basic movement. The air hummed faintly, resonating with a rhythm that made his chest thrum in response. Every instinct in him screamed danger, yet he could not escape. At the far end of the hall, atop a raised platform, the alien queen awaited. She was unlike any being he had ever seen. Her form was tall and regal, her skin shimmering with a subtle iridescence that shifted in color depending on the angle of the light. Her eyes were immense, black pools with flecks of gold, and they seemed to pierce directly through him. Every inch of her radiated authority, yet there was an odd vulnerability in the way her gaze lingered. He did not understand what had brought him here. He was a soldier, trained for combat, for strategy, for survival in the harshest of conditions, but nothing in his training prepared him for this. He took another careful step forward, his boots echoing against the smooth floor. The queen's attendants moved with fluid precision, their limbs bending at impossible angles, carrying ceremonial objects that seemed more ornamental than functional. They paused at the sight of him, bowing slightly before retreating to the sides of the chamber. The human could feel their scrutiny, a quiet intensity that made his skin prickle, and then, as if the movement of some invisible command had reached her, the alien queen rose fully and, without hesitation, dropped to one knee. Her bow was deep and reverent, the kind of gesture that was reserved for kings, heroes, or divine beings. The human froze, his mind racing. Why was she bowing? He had done nothing, at least nothing that he knew of. A low, melodious voice filled the chamber. The words were alien, yet somehow he understood them. The translation device embedded in his wrist clicked softly, providing the meaning. You are the one the prophecy foretold. The human blinked. Prophecy? He was no chosen savior, no messianic figure. He was simply a soldier from Earth, sent on a mission to investigate alien activity on the outskirts of the known sector. He swallowed hard, trying to find his voice. I think you have the wrong person, he said cautiously, his words echoing slightly. The queen's golden flecks in her eyes flickered, a sign of surprise, perhaps even disbelief. She remained kneeling, her head lowered in unwavering respect. The human stepped closer, his curiosity outweighing his fear. Explain, he demanded. The queen straightened slightly, maintaining the distance between them that was demanded by her status. She spoke again, her voice calm but carrying a weight that made him instinctively defer. In the time before your world joined the Galactic Alliance, a vision was seen. One who would come from the blue planet, bearing neither advanced weaponry nor alien technology, yet carrying the courage and wisdom to unite our fractured worlds. You have arrived earlier than expected, but the signs are clear. The human's mind reeled. He had been trained to lead men, to make decisions under pressure. But prophecy? Destiny? Those were things he had read about in old Earth literature, not things he expected to encounter in the cold reality of space. Prophecy or not, I'm just trying to survive out here, he said, a trace of nervous humor slipping through. The queen's lips curved slightly, the first hint of a smile he had seen. It was brief, but genuine. Survival is the foundation of greatness, she said, and your survival has already altered the course of countless lives. At that moment, an alarm blared, breaking the quiet reverence of the chamber. The walls shifted, revealing a hidden passage, and figures clad in dark armor poured in, moving with lethal precision. The human's hand went instinctively to his weapon, but it was gone, confiscated upon his arrival. He glanced at the queen, expecting panic, but she remained composed, her presence commanding calm amidst chaos. You will protect me, she stated, almost as a declaration rather than a plea. His brow furrowed. Without his weapon, what could he do against these invaders? Yet the intensity in her gaze ignited something within him. He was a soldier. He had faced impossible odds countless times, and he would not back down now. The first wave of attackers reached the chamber, their movements fluid, coordinated, but the human found his footing quickly. Using a combination of agility and sheer instinct, he dodged and deflected, leveraging the environment to his advantage. The alien architecture, though unfamiliar, became an ally. Sliding panels and recessed alcoves allowed him to trap, misdirect, and incapacitate foes without ever engaging in direct combat. Meanwhile, the queen moved with surprising speed for her imposing stature, her hands weaving intricate patterns in the air. Energy flares erupted from her fingertips not as a direct attack, but as a way to manipulate the environment, closing doors, triggering defenses, and creating barriers that slowed the invaders. The synergy between them was unexpected, almost instinctive. After what felt like hours but was likely only minutes, the last of the attackers fell, incapacitated or retreating. The chamber was quiet once more, save for the hum of the alien walls. The human stood panting, muscles aching, yet alive. He glanced at the queen, expecting gratitude, but instead he saw something deeper: respect. "You see, soldier," she said softly, "it is not strength alone that binds worlds, but courage and decisiveness in the face of uncertainty." He shook his head, trying to process. "I just did what I had to do. Anyone would have." "No," she corrected, her eyes unwavering. "Not anyone would. Many would have hesitated, faltered, or turned away. But you acted when it mattered." For the first time, she rose to her full height, and the human could see the scale of her presence fully. She was magnificent but no longer distant. There was no ceremony now, no ritual, just two beings who had faced danger together and emerged victorious. The queen stepped forward, her hands outstretched. "Come," she said. "There is much to explain, and the galaxy will not wait for understanding." He followed her through the hidden passage, descending deeper into the heart of the palace. They passed corridors lined with bioluminescent plants and flowing streams of liquid crystal that seemed alive, responding to their presence. Everywhere he looked, he saw beauty intertwined with technology, a civilization thriving in harmony with its environment. Finally, they reached a council chamber, where beings of various forms awaited. Some were humanoid, others were completely alien, but all watched him with curiosity and subtle awe. The queen gestured for him to sit, an honor in itself given the rigid hierarchies of their society. "Your actions have proven you worthy of trust," she said to the assembly. "This human is not merely a soldier. He is a symbol of what can be achieved when courage guides action. He will serve as our ambassador, our bridge to worlds yet unseen." He swallowed hard. Ambassador? Bridge? Words he had never associated with his mission now defined the path before him. Yet despite the sudden weight of expectation, he felt an odd clarity. He had faced enemies, navigated the unknown, and survived. If that was enough to earn the respect of an entire alien civilization, perhaps he could rise to the challenge. As the meeting concluded, the queen led him to a balcony overlooking the city below. The architecture was unlike anything on Earth. Towers spiraled impossibly, bridges of light connected floating platforms, and the sky shimmered with colors he could not name. "You must understand," she said quietly. "Your arrival was not chance. The galaxy has long awaited a species capable of blending resilience, ingenuity, and empathy. Humans are rare in this regard, and your kind may hold the key to unity we have sought for generations." He looked out over the city, the enormity of what she said sinking in. Humanity, a young species in the galactic order, suddenly entrusted with the fate of civilizations beyond its understanding. The responsibility was immense, but so was the opportunity. The queen placed a hand lightly on his shoulder, a gesture of connection rather than authority. "Do not fear, human. We will guide you, but you must act when the moment demands it. And when you do, remember the courage that brought you here. It is the same courage that will shape the future of countless worlds." For the first time, he allowed himself a sense of purpose beyond mere survival. He was a soldier, yes, but now he was also a bridge, a representative of humanity in a universe that had only begun to recognize its potential. The Queen's reverence had not been for a title, nor for prophecy alone. It had been for the choices he would make, the courage he would continue to show, and the heart that had carried him here. As the sun-like star rose over the alien horizon, bathing the city in golden light, he realized that nothing would ever be the same. He was no longer just a soldier of Earth. He was a human among stars, a beacon of what his species could achieve. And somewhere deep inside, he understood why the alien queen had bowed. Not because he was destined to rule, or because of ancient visions, but because he had already demonstrated the one quality that mattered above all: the unyielding courage to face the unknown and act, even when the odds were impossible. In that moment, the human felt the weight of history and the thrill of destiny intertwine. He did not fully understand what lay ahead, but for the first time he welcomed it. The galaxy was vast, mysterious, and fraught with danger, yet he knew he would meet it not as an outsider, but as a participant.